Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Bloodborne. Kita's gonna make Contact Edition. Alright, so a couple things on this. Number one is I actually did not know about this until you guys told me in the comments, so thank you so much for the heads up about this. So really cool stuff here. So number one, this Brain Immensis here, you will notice I killed it. It has respawned. So apparently this respawns. So if you're like me and you're dumb and you kill the brain and miss getting this, apparently you still can. I don't know if they're going to patch it, but you still can, and this Brain Immensis respawns. But thing is, we just made contact as that make contact of the choir gesture to reach out to the Brain Immensis, which gives us this moon rune. And the moon rune itself, if we go ahead and take a look at it, and this is actually a better version of it. So more echoes from slain enemies. You know I'm all about that. The great ones that inhabit the nightmare are sympathetic in spirit and often answer when called upon. So we use the contact gesture to call upon a great one. This great one itself responded. So A, that indicates this is a great one, but B, it actually indicates that the choir was right and that this gesture right here actually does call forth a great one. Cool thing about this gesture, this was a Reddit theory, and I'm not remembering whose theory it was, so I'll actually put that in the in text underneath for why this worked. But this is actually, a Redditor had a great theory for why this is the gesture that it is, the contact gesture, which is that you're essentially making a right triangle. If you put a dotted line between that, between the hands, you basically get a right triangle. And there's a theory that you essentially, if you're trying to make contact with extraterrestrials, and this has been actually a good theory, I think, since the 1800s, you should make a right triangle. Not necessarily with your hands, but just make a right triangle with Pythagorean's theorem, just to show that we understand mathematics and we're an intelligent human race. So that's actually a little tidbit that's going to be in the video I've been working on, but you guys are getting it early. So anyways, I'm going to see you guys soon. We're going to get the hell out of this brain, and we're actually going to go to the Cathedral Ward to finish a whole number of side quests in Central Yharnam. So I'll see you guys soon. So just real quick, want to show I'm equipping this. I just like to keep everyone, I don't know, keep this playthrough as complete as possible. On to the Cathedral Ward. Alright, we pop back at Cathedral Ward, and you'll already notice things have changed a little bit. One is our friend Ariana is missing from her usual spot. I'm actually not sure if we find out anything from this guy, this Cathedral bumpkin here.
Oh, kind hunter. Another one you sent made it here safe, and this place is about, there ain't a peep to be heard. Not in the old town. Oh, God.
Alright, so that he's already told us the info. I just wanted to check and see if there's anything new with him. Alright, let's talk to our old lady. I thought she had something different. I thought she disappeared as well, but maybe I just don't know what triggers it.
But I see through. I did not learn. I learned it.
He's saying the same thing. She's still just saying, okay, well, thought I'd check in on them. Main thing, though, the most interesting is by far Ariana, regardless. So we're going to go find out where the hell Ariana's gone off to. So, Ariana, where are you, my lady? Where could you be? As we're going down there, I do want to mention Murgo's wet nurse briefly. Oh, well, we got some insight, so might as well talk about this, and I'll get to Murgo in a moment. We got some insight because we see what happened to Ariana. So if you remember, she was in a lot of pain, and now she's not so much in pain anymore, but that is a baby. So we actually saw a bunch of those at Upper Cathedral Ward, but it seems like she just gave birth to that. Ariana, tell me what happened.
It can't be. This is a nightmare.
Well, I mean, some would argue that we are in a nightmare. Okay, Ariana, I'm gonna need you to calm down for a moment. I was looking for my stop gesture, but it's not ready to go. I need you to calm down for a moment and tell me what is that thing next to you? Yeah, so that's all she's got for us. So yeah, so she gave birth to essentially, I believe that it would be a hybrid Great One, essentially. That's my belief. I could be off on that, but I think it is a hybrid Great One human type of thing. And yeah, so which Great One essentially impregnated her, I'm not sure. It could be Odin, as we are in the Odin Cathedral. That would make sense. But thing is, yo baby, it offends my eyes, Ariana. My eyes. Do you see these eyes? Wait. They're offended. Alright, so by killing the baby fetus Great One, it actually kills her. So that's actually really interesting that's something that happens, and it seems that they're somehow connected. Because obviously if she did the drop, she's not dead. From the baby, we get 1/3 of an umbilical cord, and that's why I was saying I think it's a Great One, is because of this drop. So let's go ahead and look at that, and then we'll take a look at what she drops. 1/3 of an umbilical cord. I believe it would be over here. Let's find this one. Alright, so this is the one that we got from her. Every Great One loses his child and then yearns for a surrogate, and Odin, the formless Great One, is no different. They think it was corrupted blood that began this eldritch liaison. Eldritch being a term that Lovecraft loves to use, and that we've seen like Eldritch Truth here a lot. But Eldritch means strange or weird, just so you guys know, that's the definition of it. It basically just means really strange or weird, so... in this case, I think they're using it for the literal definition. But the other thing is that's the other thing where I was saying where I think it's Odin that essentially impregnated her, is because this one that we got from that baby is saying that Odin, the formless Great One, is no different. To think it was corrupted blood that began this eldritch liaison. Well, what do they mean? Why corrupted blood? Well, if we look at what she's wearing here, you may, as I've talked about before, recognize it. We've now seen this. Why, she's wearing a noble's dress, this very same that Kita should always be wearing, but also the one that is from Castle Canehurst, and who has tainted bloods. Why, the Vile Bloods have tainted blood. So it is possible that she has Vile Blood herself, and that is what caused Odin to connect with her, as Odin is, as we know about Odin, he is the one that is most associated with blood. From her, we get Ariana's shoes, which actually don't have much lore to them, but we'll go ahead and take a look at these lovely shoes. Shoes worn by Ariana. By Ariana, woman of the night in the cathedral ward, innocent and cute in contrast with its owner. Aw, that's so rude. How could you say that about Ariana? I think we need to wear these around. Man, I got some skinny legs. Kita, you don't lift your legs very often, do you? You're just like, nah, I go to the gym. I only lift upper body. He skips leg day all the time. Skips leg day every day. We actually got more places to head to as well, though. So that's going to wrap up Ariana's quest, and definitely the most interesting the side quests of these different characters. The thing, too, that's really important to note about it is we actually get a 4th umbilical cord, and if you remember that note we got before that said 3 cords, this is number 4, so 3 cords is really important. So there's actually 4 chances for you to get an umbilical cord. 2 of them are definite you can get, and there's 2 maybes. And Ariana's, if you don't send her to Cathedral Ward, if you send her to Yusefka's clinic, she will die and you can't get the umbilical cord. If you send her to Cathedral Ward and you actually send the beggar guy, who we ended up sending to Yusefka's clinic, he actually turns into an abhorrent beast, and he will start killing people, and it's possible for her to die that way. The nun who's in there, she gets jealous of Ariana if you have her blood instead of hers, and she will kill Ariana if you have Ariana's blood instead of hers on you at the point of when you kill Rom the vacuous spider. So there's a lot of chances for you to miss hers. Fake Yusefka had one as well when we went to kill Fake Yusefka, but if you kill her too early, which would be before she's writhing and withering. If you remember when we first met her, she was, she told us to back away. If you go and fight her at that point, she won't drop an umbilical cord. So it's actually possible to miss getting 3, which is kind of a shame. My little brother missed getting all 3, and he stopped playing the game because of it. So there are issues present when they do things like that. I actually ended up getting all 4 my first playthrough without knowing that those things could happen, but I don't know. I guess since I knew I was going to be replaying this game multiple times, it wasn't such an issue to me because I wanted all 3 endings. But I can see where it would be an issue. So what I wanted to talk about with Murgo, though, people were telling me that that what I was saying myself last episode with Murgo was kind of contradicting itself, and where I was saying I thought Murgo was the baby. It is possible I'm wrong in that, and I'll talk about why I think Murgo is the name of the baby, but it could be the name of a great one. And honestly, I just don't know. I think it's the baby, but I could be mistaken. So the reason that I think Murgo is the name of the baby is because that boss that we fought around the baby's name was Murgo's Wet Nurse. And typically when there's a name like that, I would assume that means that is the wet nurse possessively of Murgo, the baby. Like that is how I interpret that name. But you could think, oh, maybe it's Murgo's wet nurse as in like the Great One, Murgo's wet nurse who's taking care of his baby. So that's where I took the possessive to be. But it could be that the Great One, Murgo is, or I should say Murgo is a normal Great One, not the baby that Mensis used to try and start their ritual. Yeah, and as we start to wrap up the story here, I'll start to go more into detail after. I am going to finish the game this episode, by the way, for anyone who's curious. I decided I'll go ahead and finish it and then do Chalice Dungeons in other episodes, but might as well finish the game this time around, because we can do Chalice Dungeons afterwards. Alright, so we get a white messenger ribbon, and this is actually new. I should have built this up better, so I'm actually going to go up here. Let's build this up the way that I wanted to build it up. Hey, so we go up here. Remember that crazy older sister? Oh, there's no response. By the way, I think in the credits her name is older sister or something like that for the voice actress, so I think that is indicative that she is indeed an older sister. Some people don't think she is. But we see that no response, and now this body is down here of a little girl all bloodied up who has a white messenger ribbon. And if we go ahead and take a look at the white messenger ribbon, white ribbon that messengers are oddly fond of. A ribbon made of fine lace that shines remarkably, more suited to pretty young girls than silly old messengers. They really try to spin that dark joke there. So the older sister has either tried to escape with the ribbon that you gave her, or just run around because the moon's out and shit's crazy. But she, I don't know, I interpret it to be the way she looks to me. It looks like her body is kind of smashed into the ground, so I kind of took it to be she was climbing down the ladder and fell, or maybe just fell off that ledge, as she is right next to a ledge with a giant ladder. But I don't know, it's possible that she died from one of these creatures out here. I think she fell though. But man, it's hard to take me seriously, I feel like, when I'm talking and I'm looking at these shorts I'm wearing. Anyways, so yeah, she fell, and in my opinion, I think she fell and she's gone now. So it is a sad way to end it up. Why the white messenger ribbon is white and not bloodied, I can't say. Maybe she cleaned it, and maybe that's why it's now white. I'm really not sure. but that's what I would assume. So, yeah. All right, we actually got one more side thing to do before we go to wrap up the game. There's yet another side mission for us to complete, so I'm going to go ahead and head over there. It's at Old Yarnum, so some of you guys might know what I'm doing. Actually, we got a couple more places. We got more things to do, so we're going to go to Old Yarnum first, and then we actually got to head back to Bergenworth, so I will see you guys shortly. Hey, it's our old friend Jura. I'm back.
What is it? Surely I need not repeat myself. Go, I say. You have the whole night to dream. Make the best of it.
Something I want you to keep in mind, too, about Jura as we draw near the end of the game is, like Eileen, he also knows about the dream and remembers it. I think that's kind of really important. Well, Jura, you are my best friend in the world, so here's a present for you.
Or are you when the frail
wow, I do so much damage to him. He's really easy to kill in the
You're
game.
the beast. Just think about what you're doing. It's utter madness.
How dare you call me a beast? Well, maybe I am. Maybe I am. What of it? Just because my hand turns into a beast? Unfortunately, you can't use his Gatling gun. Reason I killed him was because I want to get his set, especially because a lot of you guys were sending me Fashion War and stuff for you want pieces of his set, so I can't do that without killing him, you know? Gotta get his set. It's really important to me, in my heart. But we also haven't killed his hunter friend, so his hunter friend who shoots you regardless, even if you make a pact with Jura. Hey, two can play the shooting your gun game. There we go. Yeah, maybe I was baiting it. It don't matter. Oh. Quick and easy. Quick and easy at this level. Get some bone marrow ash from him, which is gonna make your quicksilver bullets a little more powerful. Alright, so now that he's taken care of, his clothing's gonna appear in the insight shop. And we're actually gonna head over to pay a visit to an old friend in Bergenworth. See you guys there. Ah, Bergenworth. How I miss thee and miss reminiscing amongst your books. You know, I never did. I like how we caught that event before it happened of those mosquito-esque transformed people jumping off. So, Willem, I want to do something about you because I feel bad. I feel like I could save you, maybe. Oh, we killed Rom, and you're still doing that. Is that how it's gonna be? Maybe you shouldn't have been researching beyond human limitations and where man was never meant to go. Maybe. Well, I think that's a glitch. So for killing him, we get an eye rune, which is makes a lot of sense when you consider what he's been doing. So for a reminder of Willem and his tale, let's go ahead and take a look at the eye rune when I find where my runes are. There we go, and it's a really good one. You can see more items from fallen enemies, like just how much more powerful it is than the previous one. So, eyes symbolize the truth Master Willem sought in his research. Disillusioned by the limits of human intellect, Master Willem looked to beings from higher planes for guidance and sought to line his brain with eyes in order to elevate his thoughts. So essentially you have two different factions here, one which is basically brought forth by Lawrence, and one that is brought forth by Willem. And that's why that cutscene is so important that we see after defeating Vicar Amelia. So, Lawrence thinks that blood is the best way to transcend. And that's where a lot of the beasts come from, is blood. But blood isn't all negative. I think Lawrence had really positive intentions, because blood... The reason the Healing Church is called the Healing Church is because they gave people healing blood. So blood actually did positive things for people. It probably cured them of plagues, cured them of other issues and things like that. But Willem knew this was dangerous. And I think that they actually already had beasts coming before the plague and things like that in Yharnam. I think beasts were already starting to appear, and Master Will made that connection and thought, this is a bad thing. This is not the way to do this. We need to find an alternate method. So he was really strongly about fearing the old blood. I think Lawrence tried to, because when you hear about the Healing Church, they administer all different types of blood. I think they were trying to create a newer version of blood that wouldn't have the issues of beastlyhood, at least in their beginnings, in their origins, and that's what Lawrence was trying to push. But Willem sought a different method, which was to seek insight and line his brain with eyes, and he thought that that was the way he could go about and do it. The School of Mensis and the Choir, which are both parts of the church, that branches of the church, started by Lawrence, it seems that they both have taken from Master Willem's research and actually gone with the insight route. But we're going to get a little bit more on that back in the Hunter's Dream. So, back to insight and all that, and kind of the general story of the game. So, essentially, what you're doing here, or what the School of Mensis is doing specifically in that branch of the church, they're actually the important branch when it comes to the story. The choir is kind of a side thing, and they're important, but not when it comes to the general story of the game, I suppose. The School of Mensis is beckoning the moon, which is, they're doing all these rituals to beckon the moon forth, and by the moon coming closer, that's actually what's causing all these beastly transformations to be heightened, and people to go insane and crazy and all that. And people who are former hunters, members of the church and the clergy who have blood in them, all the blood, that it just makes it even worse. The villagers who have blood, it makes them turn into beasts. Like, this is how people are turning to beasts. And what you're doing is you are on this mission to not hunt beasts per se, but it actually is stopping the moon from being close and stopping this ritual. So now that we've killed the baby that was the cause of the ritual and causing the moon to be back and forth, we've actually completed our mission. But now the whole Hunter's Dream is on fire, and what is up with that? So that is what we're going to find out very, very shortly. But before I do that, we're going to go to the Insight Shop, and we're going to get some of this stuff. Grey Wolf Cap, Ashen Hunter Garb, Ashen everything, which I should have read the description of, but I'll do it now. So let's go ahead and look at the whole Ashen set, which is what Jura was wearing. Attire of the retired hunter Jura, painted with ash in a ceremony to ward off blood. Jura is known through his contact with the Powder Kegs, the heretics of the workshop. He is said to have been both uncommonly kind and dreadfully foolish. Jura felt defeated by the state of Old Yharnam and renounced his hunter's vows. So he actually, his cap is, I don't know where his cap went. There we go, Grey Wolf Cap. That's going to be the same thing, except this worn wolf cap was his trademark of Jura. But he's recognized and realized that the reason that that essentially all these beasts that we've been hunting and killing are actually people who have been transformed by this moon coming. And actually, the fact that we are now calling away the moon and we've completed our mission, that means that all those beasts should be becoming human again once this hunt and once this night is over. They should be. Except for the especially insane ones, which is why the church hunters exist in the first place. The general populace and general people who have been transforming into beasts will probably be normal again, because it's the moon that's been causing that. So he's trying to protect all of these people, and that's what Jura is doing from a hunter like you coming and killing all of them, because you are literally murdering them for when the hunt is over. They will be dead. So there is that. So now that we can actually talk a little bit more in depth about everything going on. So now that we've finished our task and what we were sent out to do, we can now talk to and finally find out a little bit more about Gehrman with this, which is just such an awesome shot. Everything about this just looks fantastic. Like, on one end you can see him in the moon, one end is the workshop on fire, which After we do this stuff with him, I'll talk about that. And before I forget, this is your time to eat 3 umbilical cords. So we're actually going to be eating 3 umbilical cords. You can eat all 4 of them, but it doesn't matter. You need to eat at least 3 umbilical cords, because as we found that note in the Nightmare version of Bergenworth at Lecture Hall, 3 cords. So that is the key. So we're going to actually go ahead and do that. Give me those tasty umbilical cords. Every ending in itself is really important to the overall story, I think. The one that we're going to get is, I actually find to be one of the less interesting ones, to be honest, as far as the ending itself goes. But I did make a story video that now at this point, I think people will be safe to watch after this Let's Play without spoilers now. So, unless you don't want spoilers from stuff that's in the Chalice Dungeons, the story video I kind of do in a very contained way, all my lore thoughts, and even with the strategy guide coming out and everything like that, I think it's pretty succinct and everything is pretty much there. The only thing that I kind of missed was Rom, which I'm still honestly trying to figure out. I'm still not 100% about Rom's role, although it seems like he's trying to stop the ritual in a way. Because when you defeat Rom, that's when all of a sudden that moon is just there. I'm just trying to make sure I ate all those cords, which I did. So we're going to go ahead and talk to him now that we have eaten all of our delicious umbilical cords.
Good hunter, you've done well. The night is near its end. Now, I will show you mercy. You will die, forget the dream, and awake under the morning sun. You will be freed from this terrible hunter's dream.
So, at this point, you can get an ending right away. If you submit your life, he will kill you, and you will wake up, as he said, under the morning sun in Yharnam. And he'll also tell you, as he said here, you'll forget the dream and wake up under the morning sun. So he's telling you that you're going to forget everything. So if you remember what I said about dreams and my theory on how dreams work from the episode with Mikolash, and that I think that essentially works a lot like real dreams, whereas well as this affects the real world and things like that, or if you think that Yharnam's a nightmare, which maybe it is, actually Miyazaki, the game director, has left that open to interpretation. But regardless, I think it's like a real dream where you wake up and maybe you remember pieces of it, or you remember some of it and it kind of slowly fades away. But the stronger the dream, the more it's going to resonate with you. So I don't think you completely forget. And I don't think Gehrman actually knows, because he's telling you that this is what's going to happen, but there's really no way for him to know for sure. It's just like Mikolash when he died. He's saying, oh, I'm going to wake up and I'm going to forget everything. And he's so pissed and angry that he's waking up. But I don't think he realizes that in the real world he's dead. He's a mummified corpse in the real world. So he's actually going to be dead. He's not just going to forget everything. He's going to be gone. So I think when you're in these dreams, there are certain aspects that you don't know. And as we found out from both Jura and from Eileen, they no longer dream. So I think based off of that and based off of other things that we kind of see, I'm pretty sure that certain hunters like Eileen and Jura were hunters who, like you, did this contract, had the hunter's dream, they dreamed, and then they finished a contract of whatever sort that probably wasn't as horrible as the School of Mensis has caused, but someone was beckoning forth the moon, or someone was doing something to cause the moon to go closer, so they went, took care of it, and then he ended their dream he ended it for them, because he actually thinks he's giving you mercy by submitting your life, because when you submit your life here, it cuts you out of the dream. You actually, that is how you no longer dream, is when he does that. He kills you in this dream, and killing you out of this dream will make it so you no longer wake up to this dream anymore, but now you're essentially just a being that lives. That's why when Eileen says she no longer dreams and she's going to die, it's because she used to have this hunter's dream, but she doesn't anymore, so now if she dies in real life, she will really die. Or the nightmare, if you think that Yharnam's a nightmare. Whereas while you're dreaming, if you die in that nightmare, you know, the hunter's dream saves you. You kind of get resurrected. So it gives you this boost of immortality in a way, where you can just keep on dying over and over again, and that's why that's a lore factor. So anyways, we're going to refuse.
Dear, oh dear. What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream? Oh, it doesn't matter. It always comes down to the hunter's helper to clean up after these sorts of messes. Tonight, Gammon joins the hunt.
Smash Brothers music. Gehrman joins the hunt. Smash Brothers stuff. Gehrman has my favorite weapon. I want this weapon, so that's why we're going to kill him. So we can get his weapon. Because that's kind of how things work, right? There we... Oh, damn, It's been a while since I fought him. Because I've only fought him once. And that was the time I beat him. Well, I guess it was a couple tries, but... Oh. Dang, he's knocking me down a notch. Come on. I'm slow. Or I'm really... Alright, when he charges, I gotta take note of that. That was a charge. Oh, shoot. Let's get it. Got that visceral attack, finally. Okay, that should be good. No? Ooh. That was a pretty cool grab. Nope. I was thinking, like, I want to talk about more lore stuff while we're fighting him, but it's kind of difficult to. Because I'm playing so poorly. Oh my gosh, like, really poorly. Point where he's almost killed me poorly. Come on! There. I'm not even doing that much damage to him. I should probably just start R1ing it. Oh! He's pulled out the shotgun. One thing I want to point out, though, is that there's a bunch of graves here. And all those graves that we see around, like, see all those graves all over there? I think, like, literally lining the walls. I think those are graves of former hunters who have done his contract and completed a contract. So this is, in my opinion, something that's happened multiple times. And he's kind of this keeper, and he's really sick of it. That's why when we see him that other time where he's like... He's talking about Lawrence, and he's like, please save me and get me out of here. He's been doing this for a long, long time, and he actually considers it a mercy to get you out of this dream. Like, to him, it's an obligation that he doesn't like anymore. We found from the Hunter's Dream that, not the Hunter's Dream, the Bannerlord Workshop, that's how we know, that's how Gehrman seemed to do this ritual to create the Hunter's Dream, and it seems like he was actually one of the few successful ones, in a sense where he's kept himself, but now he has this duty that's kind of a burden. It's really more of a burden, because he's basically consistently saving Yharnam from everything that's going on, when you think about it. Alright. Jeez. Oh, you've got an ability there. I actually don't know what it does. What are you doing? Stop it. I actually don't know what you're doing. Oh. Oh, it's an instant death attack. Well, that's good to know. Sleep.
Must accept your death.
Best part about Gehrman is the boss fight. Super, super easy run back. Oh man, that was interesting. He's pulling me in for that attack, that grab attack, and apparently you can make that not happen. That was close. Yeah, so Gehrman though, really important lore tidbit here about Gehrman is what you see underneath on his name right there. Gehrman, first hunter. So yeah, that's pretty important. wouldn't you say? So he is the first hunter, so he is the one who started this all, at least the hunting. And we'll find out a little bit more about it once we actually... Well, we will find out more about it. That's the point. I got some fighting to do as he's dodging away with his with that, basically what the Hunter's Bone does, that attack that makes you fly really quickly, which I haven't really used. Oh, I was gonna say it didn't seem like that did that much damage, but oh no, I was early. Oh no, I was right on time. Running out of Quicksilver bullets, but you know what? I was gonna say I don't want to. I don't want to. I didn't want to press up and waste healing vials. Oh god! Oh god! But I have so many healing vials compared to Quicksilver bullets. That's not the biggest deal in the world. Oh, Gehrman, you're so close to being dead. I'm trying to help you, man. I'm trying to release you from this horrible hunter's dream. Don't you understand? You of all people should understand that. There we go. That's the way to do it. So we get the old hunter's badge from him, but interestingly, no blood echoes. And we are fighting a new great one, the Moon Presence. So we got the old Hunter's Badge, which we're going to take a look at. I actually am going to die on purpose to it, but first I just want to try and get a feel for its attacks again, just so it doesn't take quite as long for me, because it's just, I haven't fought it in, since the one time I guess the one time. I'm being sloppy on purpose, but, yep. Lots to talk about with it, so as soon as I come back, we'll talk about this Moon Presence. Alright, so if you fight Gehrman without eating 3 umbilical cords and win, he will actually, the Moon Presence will come down, which is what that was, that great one, and it will hug you and embrace you, and then you will become the next Moon Presence. So you're almost sort of doing its will, possibly, and that's what you're meant to be perceived as, is that it's almost like that's the great one that Gehrman connected with, and some people think that maybe it means that you're the Moon Presence's surrogate, and I'm honestly not sure, but I kind of connected with what the doll was saying, where the doll says that I love you because you're my creator, but do you love me? It's kind of like that with the Moon Presence. I think it's indicated that it's possible the Moon Presence is meant to be the creator of humanity, possibly, especially considering the ending that we're going to get. But anyways, if the Moon Presence hugs you, you take Gehrman's place, and you become the new watcher over the Hunter's Dream. And Gehrman is now dead, and presumably he woke up. But since he woke up, and he's been probably long since dead in the real world, I'd assume he's probably just dead. But for killing Gehrman, we got this Hunter's Badge. So let's go ahead and take a look at it. Where is my Hunter's Badge? Old Hunter Badge. This Hunter's Badge, crafted in Gehrman's time, has no practical purpose except perhaps to assist in romanticizing about the past. The badge was a special privilege for the hunters of the past and should not be dishonored. It should be left in peace unless one is truly prepared to assume the will of those gone before. For getting this badge, we're actually going to be able to buy the whole reason that I wanted to die. Now you can buy this regardless. If you beat the game, these are still available in the shop. You keep all the stuff that you can buy in the shop, but I want to buy it now, so I want to buy this Burial Blade. So, trick weapon wielded by Gehrman, the first hunter, a masterpiece that defined the entire array of weapons crafted at the workshop. Its blade is forged with siderites, said to have fallen from the heavens. Gehrman surely saw the hunt as a dirge of farewell, wishing only that his prey might rest in peace, never again to awaken to another harrowing nightmare. So, again, he actually thinks he's doing you a favor by killing you and taking you out of this hunter's dream, and in a way, you could interpret that ending to be the best ending of the game. Let's see. You also get a Gehrman set. Hunter attire of Gehrman, the first hunter. Created before the workshop existed by making adjustments to everyday clothing, and later became the basis for all hunters' garb. The hunter's emphasis on engaging beasts with speed and therefore selecting lightweight attire no doubt traces back to Gehrman's own combat style. And that is what all of this says. So, as I'm pumping these blood vials out, we can actually start to really talk about Gehrman and what went on with him. So, it seems like Gehrman... Well, he was the first hunter, so he knew Lawrence, and that's indicated in him asking for Lawrence after he has died. So, or not after he's died, he's asking for Lawrence in this dream, and we actually talked to him when he did that. And he's like wishing that, and I think he mentions Willem as well, and wishing that they wouldn't take so long. So for whatever reason, he created this dream, and as all of them have been trying to delve and find out about Great Ones, but he was the one who started this whole hunter thing. And that's because as they found out about beasts, something needed to be done, and he's the one who stepped up to do it and take care of the beasts. So, as he is the first hunter, I think he created that abandoned old workshop, which was the very first hunter workshop, and Lawrence sort of was involved in the founding of the Healing Church. And I think Gehrman trained all the hunters to come, and I think it's very possible he trained Ludwig. The Healing Church workshop, which is the one right above it that you go to in the game, is Ludwig's workshop. I'm so glad we got this. So glad I was able to get this Burial Blade. Let's see. Oh, it's C Dex, D, and E. So, yeah, this one's actually more of a Dex weapon, or a skill weapon, so... It takes a while to get it, but you actually do get another more skill-based weapon for scaling. But yeah, so... I don't know, I mean, I think they were all trying to do their own thing, but to find their own path to connect with the Great Ones, and we do find a third of an umbilical cord right on this altar here, which would indicate that I think, you know, Gehrman used an umbilical cord himself to connect with the Great One, and as he didn't have all three like we have, he couldn't overpower it, so I don't think he knew that you needed all three of them. Alright, yeah, sorry if my thoughts are a little jittered in a sense for I'm talking about this. If you want a more concise and clear talk about all this stuff, then you should watch my story lore video. Alright, so let's go ahead and pump up this Burial Blade. I hope I have enough Titanite chunks, blood chunks. I do. And the reason I saved my Blood Rock was because I wanted to use it for the Burial Blade. That is the reason I was saving it. So I'm going to pump it into my Burial Blade here and make it so that is my plus 10 weapon. So here is my plus 10 weapon. And what I'm actually going to do now is go into Blood Gem Fortification. And I'm going to take out all the Blood Gems from this. Let's see if there's a quick and easy way to. Yeah, we'll just replace them all with somewhat decent ones. And let's go ahead and put some really good ones into my blade here. Pump this Burial Blade up. Oh, as you can see, it also has different slots, but actually, see, it has a half moon slot. It actually has the same number. Actually, it's the exact same slots. It's just organized differently. Now that I'm looking at it, assuming that's going to be the best one. Actually, it's not. All right, here we have a better one, but I don't know which slot it's better for. And this one's better too. Alright, let's go with that one for the time being and see which one's going to be the best for this. Yeah, that was the way to do it, I think. Yes, it was. Yeah, like it. I like it. Are you guys happy? I'm finally using a different weapon. Took me a while. Now let's go take out a Great One. What do you say? And find out what the true quote-unquote ending is. So this is the third secret ending that we're now going for, as we have passed up 2 of them for this. Shall we? Alright, moon presence. Oh, I didn't know you could trample me. Actually, you know what? I could probably just two-hand this. I don't think you can, I mean, I could be wrong, but I don't... Whoa. Alright. Clearly not doing a good job. It has been a while. Ah! Well, that went well. What, you think you're so great? Just because you could have possibly created humanity? Whatever. I'm actually doing some really decent damage with this burial blade. Gehrman chose right. He knew what weapons to use. Man, it makes me so sad that this is such an endgame weapon. I really wish you could have gotten this weapon earlier in the game. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Oh, that's right. I remember this now. When it does that, just stay in close and just get all your health back. That's really what you want to do when he does that move. Hey, you, stop it. This feels more like a Dark Souls style boss to me. Are you summoning blood? Is that what you're doing? Ow. Oh no, those are arcane spells, it looks like. Oh yeah, that's the blood stuff. The Blood Rain. The movie, the anime. Okay, we gotta hit you real quick and get our health back. Yeah, so don't freak out when that happens. Just, you know, get your health back. Use that Bloodborne mechanic to your advantage, because it's actually a really good attack for the moon presence to do on you, as it will allow you to actually get in a couple hits as long as you don't panic about it. Oh, nice. That was a cool attack. It actually threw me off. Yep. Good, thank you. I appreciate it, Moon Presence. I really do. No, really. Thank you. And Moon Presence is taken care of. What is our reward for defeating a great one? Nightmare slain. So, nightmare as in the Hunter's Dream. Oh, I forgot to mention why the Hunter's Dream is on fire. We'll talk about it after this.
Are you cold? Oh, good hunter.
What? What in the world just happened? What? So, first of all, why is the Hunter's Dream on fire? That's the first thing I want to talk about. I think that the reason the Hunter's Dream is on fire is because you completed your task. And I think that it actually is the moon drawing closer, as the Great Ones draw closer with the moon drawing closer, that draws in the Hunter's Dream itself. So, I think that that is actually the Hunter's Dream burning up and receding back to not exist anymore, at least within a realm that's close to Yharnam or Earth, until it happens to be quote-unquote needed again. Or you could say just summoned again with all the other Great Ones, as this is a Great One in charge of the Hunter's Dream. So it's like all the other ones, it's also called forth as the moon is beckoning and draw closer. Some people think there's a war between Great Ones. Like, some people think that Murgo is at war with this moon presence. I really don't know if that's the case. That's just, you know, total theory ground, which is why in my lore video, I usually don't go into super theory stuff like that. It's an interesting theory, though, and the one that I think is interesting to bring up. Because all the Great Ones don't necessarily... They're very like people. You know, it's not like they all want the exact same thing. They all have different goals and wants and things like that. So we're really not sure. But the reason that I think it's possible that the moon presence is in fact the creator of people is because of this ending that we just got right here. So that is you who just woke up as what is actually a legit baby Great One. And how do I know that? Well, if we go into our trophies, because now I can do this stuff without feeling bad about it. Childhood's beginning. You became an infant Great One, lifting humanity into its next childhood. So that is how we know that you, in fact, that's what happened. You became an infant Great One. And it's the fact that it says lifting humanity into its next childhood, that's what makes me wonder if the Moon Presence might have been the creator of humanity. But again, that's just a possibility in a theory. It's not, outside of this one thing right here, it's not entirely clear. So, lifting humanity into its next childhood. So, what exactly that means is completely up to interpretation. But by defeating this Great One, you yourself have now actually become a Great One and transcended, which is what everyone else has been trying to do. So you needed, as that one noted, whoever figured it out in Bergenworth, good job to them. They figured it out. You need all 3 chords, not just one. The song that's playing right now that you can hear is called Murgo's Lullaby on the soundtrack. And a lot of people noted and noticed, and we're talking about in the comments, that, hey, this is the exact same song that was played for the music box that you play for Gehrman. Why that is, if there's a lore connection with it, I really don't know. Maybe it's something that soothes a Great One or a beast, or just some sort of, it just soothes for someone in that beastly world. Or it could just be sort of like an Easter egg type of thing that the developers just included of like, oh, okay, well, we'll play the full song for Murgo's Nightmare, and then why don't we use that for the music box of just like a little Easter egg? So I really can't say. I don't think there's really, it's one of those things that's just open to interpretation. Thank you all. Thank you all for working on Bloodborne. You did a wonderful job, and I'm going to skip the credits so we can talk about what I'm going to do next. First of all, for those of you who watched this entire Let's Play, thank you guys so much. I'm honestly blown away how many people watched this Let's Play. Like I've talked about before, I've done Let's Plays that have been pretty popular and had a lot of people watch, but nothing that felt like this, so that's really crazy. So thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching. I had fun doing this. It was definitely a lot quicker. Some of you don't realize this, but this actually went a lot quicker than most of my Let's Plays go.
Good. All signed and sealed.
Oh, so who is this guy in the beginning? That's kind of the biggest question right now in everyone's mind, as far as I know.
Don't you worry.
I honestly don't know. There was speculation going around for a while that might be Lawrence, but Miyazaki has confirmed, as I've talked about multiple times, he's confirmed in the strategy guide interview that Lawrence is the skull that we find at the beginning of the game. I know Paradigm Shift, who's a lore guy, thinks that it's an associate of Lawrence, but to me, there's just nothing that indicates that. I'm not saying it's wrong, but I don't like to I don't know. I don't like to assume that type of thing unless there's some evidence, I suppose. He could be right, though. I really don't know. I just don't see any evidence towards it, I suppose is what I'm saying. Handwritten scrawl. Seek pale blood to transcend the hunt. So what is pale blood now? And we've talked about this a couple times. This is your first note that you're getting right out of this. It seems to be indicated that now from all of you guys, thank you for your comments. I think this is me, changing my opinion as I go because I haven't really completely known. But I would think that pale blood is the moon itself. And when you see, alas, a pale blood sky, it's probably supposed to mean that, or supposed to be something that's talking about that's when you're in the School of Mensis area, when you see the blood moon. So it's like that's what you're seeking, is that blood moon, and that's what you need to be finding. So it's in order to stop the hunt. That's really what you're trying to do. You'll also notice that I got a huge amount of blood echoes, 300,000 right now. So for defeating the Great One, for slaying that nightmare and defeating the Moon Presence, you actually do get a lot of blood echoes. For defeating Gehrman, you actually get 0 blood echoes, which is sort of interesting. I think if you attack Gehrman, I've been told that for attacking the doll, it's sort of a different type of blood. It's like silver or something, and same thing with Gehrman. That's something I actually haven't tested out on my own yet. But, sorry, I love the way this like pops and opens up. It's really cool. It's great. This weapon's great! Don't you agree, Yarnamite? Oh. Don't you agree? Oh, something I forgot to talk about too when I was talking about the hunters and the fact that a lot of those hunters are those dead graves that we see in the Hunter's Dream. And there have been multiple hunts. As we've heard before, this isn't the first hunt, the one that we were on. There have been a lot of hunts. When you wake up in the world, all I think it means is you finish your hunt. And that doesn't mean there's not going to be any more hunts. It just means that the hunt of the School of Mensis and what they're doing is over. But more people are probably going to get curious and look into Great Ones, and there's going to be another hunt. And you're going to be just like another one of those former hunters who are living in Yharnam. But there's also other hunters. There's hunters that the Healing Church have hired, and I think the difference is that those hunters aren't as powerful as you as a hunter, because you have been using blood echoes all night long throughout that entire night of the hunt and becoming more and more powerful. So I think the powerful hunters are going to be ones like you who've gone through the hunt and who have gone through the Hunter's Dream. And then there's going to be less powerful ones that are just general hunters hired by the church, where they're recruiting Yharnamites. But now that we're going back to the Hunter's Dream, as I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I hope you've enjoyed. You know, if you haven't, check out, or if you're looking for more Let's Plays, check out my Dark Souls 2 Let's Play, or Dark Souls 1 Let's Play, or Kingsfield. I actually think my Kingsfield 1 Let's Play, which is one of my first ones, is actually my favorite one I've done. We have been shot right back in the New Game Plus, by the way, which is what this is, and it is really difficult compared to the other Souls games, New Game Plus's modes. You're actually supposed to do the Chalice Dungeons first, and you can tell that by the difficulty of New Game Plus mode. Oh yeah, so other things too, what I'm going to be doing next is I've got some more Bloodborne videos planned, which is why this took a while for me to get this out for those of you who were waiting patiently for it. There's a bunch that I'm working on right now. I'm working on my next Super Show right now. I've been working on it, and I've got some awesome stuff planned for it. I've got a really cool guest who's going to be on it, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, it should be a really good Super Show. I put a lot of work into my next one, which is Chrono Trigger. And yeah, if you guys haven't checked my Super Shows out, I really would appreciate it. I do put a lot of work into them, but if all you want is Bloodborne, I understand. Yeah, so I've got some more Bloodborne videos planned. Obviously a lore video, and then there's more fun stuff that I've got planned that I have been working on, which is why this has taken a while to get this final Let's Play up. And what I'm going to be doing next is I do actually want to get Witcher 3. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a Let's Play of Witcher 3 or not yet, because I honestly haven't played Witcher 1 or 2. I've just been told that it's a game franchise I would absolutely love. So I really want to play Witcher 3, and it's likely if I enjoy it, I'll make videos about Witcher 3. I don't know about a Let's Play yet. I guess I'll see if people want something like that. Like Bloodborne, I feel comfortable doing Let's Plays with, because I know the Souls games so well that I guess I feel like I can be a good guide through the game. Whereas with Witcher 3, since I haven't played the first two games, I don't know if I would be as good of a, I don't know, as good of a personality to follow and watch. I've considered maybe doing a blind playthrough of Witcher 3, but that presents its own questions, and like, is that a good to do or not? I'm doing a blind Let's Play of Shadow Tower, which I'm going to be resuming. People have been asking me about that. But, yeah, I'm going to be doing a blind Let's Play of Shadow Tower, so, or resuming that one, and some people really enjoy the blind aspect, because it's fun when you just are finding things completely blind and getting legitimate reactions to it. Not that my reactions aren't legitimate, but, you know, like first-time reactions. So, I don't know, I'm still kind of deciding what I want to do about Witcher 3, but I'm going to keep on pumping up the videos, and I've got a lot more Bloodborne stuff planned out, so don't you worry about that. As far as this Let's Play itself goes, as I've talked about with the Chalice Dungeons, I've been thinking about streaming them, and that's what I think I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and say this Thursday, from 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to stream out doing the Chalice Dungeons. So I know it's only a couple hours. I might go a little bit longer, a little bit shorter, depending on where we go. But I am going to post those on YouTube after I record them. So if you're afraid that they're not going to go on YouTube, they are going to go on YouTube. I have every intention to put them on YouTube. I just thought it'd be cool for you guys to have a chance to join in and co-op with me through the Chalice Dungeons, so you guys get to be involved as well. So, if the date and time change, because I do get really busy really quickly, I basically work 50, 60-hour weeks a lot of times. Yeah, if that changes for whatever reason, I'll let you guys know. But right now I'm thinking Thursday, 4 to 6 p.m. And by let you know, I mean go to my Twitch channel. So go to twitch.tv/DaveControlLive, and I'll have it posted there. 4 to 6 p.m. Pacific time is my current plan for it. If it changes, I will post that on it, and I will do a Twitter update as well if that time changes. So that is my current plan. And then I'll probably figure out like another day and time for the next time I do it. So for those of you who do want to join in, the Chalice is, it looks like WGTZUEC8. I'm looking at my TV at an angle, so it's kind of hard to read those letters. So that is how you can join in. You have to have unlocked the Chalice that I have to join in. I only have one more level floor left on this one, and then we're going to go into the next one, this lower Thumeru Chalice. And actually, I should go ahead and... Okay, I can't get level ups yet. Shoot. I might need to play the game a little bit on my own, just so I can get those levels. Go kill the Cleric Beast or something, or at least see the Cleric Beast. See no evil. But, yeah, so that's how you guys can join in, and I will post that on YouTube once it's all recorded, so it will still go on YouTube so everybody can watch it. If people don't like the format, let me know in the YouTube comments for the next video, and I'll consider redoing it or restructuring it so it's not a stream, or I don't stream it first. But I figure that's kind of the best of both worlds, so people who want to join in can, but everyone can watch on YouTube. So that way I can, you know, have my cake and eat it too. I think I screwed up that quote. Thank you all for joining, though. I really, really do appreciate it. This has been a really fun adventure through the world of Yharnam, and I hope you guys had as good of a time as I did. So thank you guys so much, and I'll either see you for Shadow Tower, or I'll see you for more of this for the Chalice Dungeons, or I will see you as with Witcher 3, or, you know, just other Bloodborne lore videos or super shows and whatnot. So you can always find me on Twitter at @TheDaveKlein if you want to talk to me that way. That's honestly the best way to keep in touch with me. If anyone wants to, I do respond frequently to Twitter. That's the easiest place for me to respond, is Twitter. If anyone wants to, you know, say hey, I'll always say hey on Twitter. It's definitely the best way. This episode ended up being a lot longer than I thought it would be. Thank you guys so much for joining. Happy hunting.